Tulsi Gabbard is really coming out strong. I just want to give a shout out to her because she has just come forward with some pretty concerning but fascinating stuff. So she is now referring two people, two alleged leakers, to the DOJ for prosecution. It's interesting because, you know, Pete Hegseth has been doing this big thing right over at the Pentagon. He's very upset about leakers. He's made that very clear, of course, over and over and over again. But Tulsi's doing something rather different. I mean, there were no interviews. She simply made a statement saying she was referring to individuals, and she has a third that she expects to refer as well, because these people are guilty, in her estimation, of leaking critical, classified information. And in doing so, that is actually illegal, guys. Like, you're going to be behind bars for that. I get that people have their political biases, et cetera, and they're maybe trying to massage things around the edges, and they want to have a certain kind of profile in the New York Times or the Washington Post, or a certain viewpoint on a particular bit of information. But at some point, you know, if you're crossing the line and you're actually giving away classified stuff and thereby jeopardizing an operation, well, the government has to intervene and do something. And so this is what we're seeing Tulsi do right now. I want to share with you her social media post where she says politicization of our intelligence and leaking classified information puts our nation's security at risk and must end. Those who leak classified information will be found and held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Today, I referred two intelligence community leaks to the Department of Justice for criminal referral, with the third criminal referral on its way, which includes the recent illegal leak to the Washington Post. These deep state criminals leaked classified information for partisan political purposes to undermine President Trump's agenda. And I look forward to working with the Justice Department and the FBI to investigate, terminate, and prosecute these criminals. I will tell you this, you know what? You can't have a government where half or maybe even 80% of rank and file don't see eye to eye with the president and find it to be their mission to somehow stop him, right? You get all these Obama holdovers. He did a good job of brainwashing everybody. You know, okay, I want my people in here, and he kind of remade the system in his likeness, shall we say, and then they all kind of lingered, and they all kind of stayed, and then Trump came in, and they didn't like that, right? So 2016, we spent 4 years dealing with Russia, and all this stuff, and impeachment city, and then Biden gets in, and so the whole team's back in action. And they went after, did they not? They went after Donald Trump and his associates with everything they had. What do you think the J6 thing was all about? What do you think, sending Steve Bannon to jail was all about? They went after them with a vengeance. And now I'm looking at what's happening here, and I commend Tulsi for this. I realize Pete's got an investigation going on, but other than, sending some people out of the office and shaming them in the media, we don't have anybody actually being prosecuted yet. And so I commend her for actually taking the right steps and moving this forward and getting it into the hands of Pam. But now it's in the hands of Pam. And I want to know what Pam is going to do. Okay, Pam Bondi, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I realize you're on TV a lot, and I know you love going on Hannity's show. And you know what? Good for you. It's good to get the information out there. But we also need results. And when I think about what they have put this president through, when I think about Leticia James and her nonsense, when I think about all of these cases that were leveled against the president, I'm really looking around and saying, okay, so what are you going to do about it? And what are you going to do about Leticia James, who made it her political mission, ladies and gentlemen, right? Made it her political mission to go after him and bankrupt him. That was her goal. And if you don't believe me, you know what? Let's go back to some stuff that was on the campaign trail, because I remember this quite well. Too male, too pale, too stale, right? Remember all that. This is who she is, who she was, and who she will continue to be. And so you can't have people like this running wild, because it destroys the integrity of the system. Here is Tish James, just to remind you.
And what would you say to people who say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person?
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're gonna definitely sue him. We're gonna be a real pain in the ass. He's gonna know my name personally.
I love it.
Yeah. So Leticia James is struggling a little bit, right? Up a creek without a paddle. I mean, you consider what's going on right now in terms of the mortgage allegations, new allegations being leveled against one Leticia James, effectively, suggesting that she did some of the things that she kind of went after Trump for, except it's a little bit worse because, his was a private transaction. I think she was getting some government benefit of a better interest rate, et cetera. The mortgage allegations are serious enough that now she's totally freaking out. Of course, it probably didn't help. She was freaking out a little bit when she had the Daily Caller showing up at her house. Did you guys see this?
The Daily Caller News Foundation.
Goodbye, you're trespassing.
I'm sorry.
Trespassing. My kids are out here.
I understand. We mean no trouble. We're just
Okay,
curious
yeah,
who the occupants of the home are,
Don't
because
worry
there's
about who's occupants. That's none of your business.
well there
You're
are connections
trespassing.
to
Okay, but
New
you're
York Attorney
trespassing.
General Leticia
That doesn't
James.
matter. You're trespassing.
Are you related to
You're
Leticia James?
trespassing.
Do you know her?
You're trespassing. Go in the house.
Do you know
You're
Leticia James?
trespassing.
No?
You're
Okay.
trespassing.
No comment. Thank you,
Don't
ma'am.
come up to my house no more.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one.
It's gonna be problems.
You will.
So she wasn't too happy about that happened. And no sooner did that happen that she decided to go on some little local news show and talk about this, speaking with a reporter. And I'll tell you, she can't defend herself at all. She cannot defend her. He asked her the question about those mortgage allegations. She's got no defense. But, she took the opportunity to go after Trump as much as she could. If you ask me, she's like Soundbite City. She says the same thing over and over and over again. I'm not scared. I'm this, that, and the other. Listen to her, though. I can hear the fear in her voice. And you know what? There should be fear in her voice. I want Pam to get on this one because this is serious.
Good to see you, Ms. James. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Errol.
Absolutely. What is going on here? Did anybody contact you before this letter went out accusing you of this, that, and the other and making a criminal referral about real estate transactions?
No, not at all. And let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. And as you mentioned, my office was successful in securing a $454 million judgment against Donald Trump and others for exaggerating the value of his assets. He engaged in a pattern and practice of fraud. And the interest is accruing each and every day while the case is on appeal in the First Department. It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after law firms, universities, immigrants, women. Thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed. Our government is in chaos and in disarray. Medicaid, Social Security, CFPB, and the list goes on and on and on. And as you know, as you mentioned, each and every day, my office is leading the fight against these executive orders, which have...
It's like she can't ever stop campaigning, right? She can't ever stop. Not for 2 seconds. I'm leading the fight. I'm doing this and that and the other because this is how she fundraises, guys. This is how she gets money. This is what they're... And Ilhan Omar is no different. I'm going to get to that in a second. But this is Leticia trying to say, listen, I'm going to keep going after Trump, this, that, and the other. You're the problem, Leticia. You see, who the heck wants to go into politics if it's as corrupt as you?
No legal import at all, have no legal significance. And we are standing up for the rights and privileges of New Yorkers and Americans. I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the President of these United States.
Okay. Well,
And the Office of the Attorney General will continue to stand up.
I feel like I've heard her say that before.
Follow up of some of what's in this this letter. It says according to media reports, which for us in the media is kind of a red flag, meaning that
Excuse me? According to media reports, for us in the media is a red flag? I guess that's fair. Maybe you're calling out the media. Finally, the media calling out the media. Anyway, here's the part where she just can't answer it, guys. She can't answer the question. I mean, if she was innocent, why wouldn't she say it? But listen to what she says.
seems to be based on some social media posts that I know were made by partisan political actors. But just let me ask you about some of the specifics in the letter. They're saying that your house in Brooklyn is a legal 5-family and the mortgage on it is for a 4-family house. Is that true?
So let me just say that, Errol, you know, as any good attorney, I will not litigate this case in a camera.
Pardon me, but you see, that's how she got the better mortgage deal. It's apparently a 5-level house or 5-bedroom house, but she said it was four levels, and like that qualified her for a different kind of thing. So it's like, you know, she was after Donald Trump because he inflated the square footage apparently. Of course, it's a private deal between him and Deutsche Bank at the time, and Deutsche Bank was like, we'll take this deal all day long, and guess what? We do it again because we made money. Leticia, on the other hand, is trying to cry poor mouth, and you know she's going to get a better deal if there's like a 4-family thing instead of a 5-family thing, and she won't answer the question. By the way, thank you so much. I'm getting a lot of generosity here today. I love seeing that from the comments. Much appreciated. 200 Watt Studio, and we had another one from Unc Andy. Thank you so much. Here we go.
It's important that we will respond to these allegations at the appropriate time. And in an appropriate way. But I will not go back and forth with respect to these baseless allegations. I am more focused again on standing up for the freedoms, the liberties, and for the rule of law in the state of New York.
I was under the impression by all of this that what they were really looking for is what they got, which is a headline saying, you know, Tish James is under a criminal investigation. Is that pretty much what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what they got. That's what they got. And it's unfortunate that you have some of these right-wing conservative individuals who are camped out in front of my home and in front of the homes of my relatives in Virginia, harassing them each and every day. And it's unfortunate, knocking on the doors of my neighbors and the neighbors of my relatives in the state of Virginia. And it is nothing more than a headline. Nothing more than, again, retaliation against.
Gosh, you know, how does that feel, Leticia? I wonder, because, you know, what do you think you were? Other than a headline for Donald Trump and an attempt to actually bankrupt him. I still question that because that Second Court of Appeals, they should have actually thrown that case out by now. It doesn't take them this long. You've watched it together with me. We have seen the judges react, and they are just disgusted by the entire case. They're like, well, heck, there's no victim here. What are you talking about? This seems like a private transaction between 2 individuals. Why are you wasting our time with this? And yet they haven't thrown it out yet. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, allegedly went in to meet with the president. The president felt as though Kathy Hochul was trying to say, hey, I control the judges in New York. So you know what, if you want that bankruptcy thing, I mean, it's $500 million, guys, and still counting, right? That's a lot of money, even for a billionaire. If you want that to go away before we try and bankrupt you to get all this money, you know what? Well, you better play by my rules and allow for that $9 surcharge to happen in Midtown Manhattan, which he doesn't want. That's how he interpreted it. He told a columnist at the New York Post that. So that's been reported. Kathy Hochul, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't be corrupt. Why would I be corrupt? You know, the rest of them are corrupt. So I just get back to Pam. You know what? I love Pam, but she's going to really like run a well-oiled machine here. This is like being a CEO of a big company, right? You got to have all your attorneys from New York to California and everywhere in between rooting out bad actors like Leticia James and others like, say, Fannie Willis or Alvin Bragg. You need to go after all of these people as hard as you can because it ruins the system for everyone else. When you have such corruption, it makes it so that nobody else can want to or desire, will never have any desire. I mean, who the heck would want to go into politics? Because they're just going to take you down. So that's got to change. I mean, we're lucky Donald Trump was like, you know, willing to even get, for goodness sake, shot at. I mean, nearly killed, right, in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So we need action out of Pam. And I'm just going to say that. I hope we're going to get it. We want it.